Hello, all you Porky International followers. How are you doing? Hope you're well. It's Russ here from Porky's International. We have a sister channel, Porky's Corner, and that's been going 8 year on Monday. And I set this other one up about 18 months ago to do non-boxing topics. And today's topic that I'm going to do is about immigration. I know it's very easy when people do videos about immigration to tell them that they're racist or the right wing. Well, if you think that about me, I don't care. All right, I'm not really frightened of the establishment. No, I'm not frightened whatsoever. And I'm going to say my bit. And if people don't like it, simple, don't listen and don't watch. Right, immigration. Is Keir Starmer doing a good job? Well, we're being from a mining community in South Yorkshire, all my family and friends, basically all of them, and going back years, my nana and granddad on both sides, and blah de blah de blah de blah. They're all Labour. Keir Starmer's Labour, isn't he? Raise a shit house. He don't know what he's doing. He's lost control, hasn't he? Really. Uh, Getting back to the immigration situation, look, they can throw as many numbers out about as they want, and all they seem to do at the moment, Labour, is complain about, well, the Tories left it in a mess, this and that, blah blah blah. Well, put it right. Now, immigration to me is a joke. Right? I haven't got a problem with people coming into this country. I've got a problem with who they are letting in. Now they all come over on these boats, don't they? Or some of them are they're stowaways on ships, aren't they? Or in trains or on buses, whatever. Once they get here, once they hit them beaches at Kent and Hampshire on South Coast and Cornwall or wherever, once they land here, that's it. They're here to stay. It's getting rid of them. Now, if the paperwork's in order, they might as well come over on an aeroplane, aren't they? And smartly dressed, or come over on a bus, whatever. But when they're coming over and they're hiding in boats, or they're coming over on rubber dinghies or life rafts, or they're coming over on them rubberized boats where they're getting 60 and 70 of them in, sat on the boat, and then but they're only big enough to hold 30 people. I think it's a joke. I think it's a joke. We don't see all these women coming over. They're just men. And it reminds me of Fidel Castro emptying his prisons and sending them all to Florida, in very early 80s. That's what it reminds me of. It's like an invasion. But if you say anything, it's wrong. What's going on is absolutely shocking. Shocking. They come over here. When they land on them beaches, they give them an interpreter. They give them bottles of water after interpreter. Then they feed them. They put them in hotels. Then they give them cars to drive. Benefits. All the lot of them are hanging around shop corners in Exthorpe, Doncaster. Well, I'm not from Exthorpe. There's some in Edlington, not many. They get kicked upside down there. Kick them out. They all congregate in Exthorpe and Wheatley in Doncaster. I think it's a joke what's going on, but you can't speak out, can you? Without being called right wing or racist. It's shocking. And the governments are so scared of being called that, so they pander to these people. Now, I'm fortunate that I don't live up there now. I live in Sutton Coldfield, but down here, you go into Sutton Coldfield, into shopping centres, and you've got beggars on the streets. But the beggars are British. We don't see any beggars from these foreign countries, do we? They're all Brits who can't get on, or they're ex armed forces or whatever, armed navy, or they can't get on. Do you know what I mean? But these people, they're putting them in hotels. Now, I used to have a friend who lived in Deal in Kent. Nice lad, actually. we had a bit of a disagreement. He's got two terraced houses, or he did have, and he'd started a bed and breakfast. He put dormers on roof and extensions on back. So technically, he got 12 double rooms, which is 24 people, or 24 families if you throw another single bed in, because they're big enough, the rooms that he's got there. Now he's got 35 squashed in there at the moment, right? And he's abroad for 3 years. The government have paid him up for 3 years. He's set up financially for life now. Yeah, sellout, an absolute sellout. Now he wouldn't put any Brits in there who are homeless. No, 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 no. Because you're putting these people in from abroad and you're getting good money because they're giving them like what's called danger money. Do you know what I mean? It's craziness what's going on, but nobody's saying a word, are they? The mainstream media are weak, absolutely weak, and they're pandering to this Starmer guy. But my argument is all these rapes that are being committed. The biggest one, rapes. I've got a daughter myself. She's 13-year-old. Got twins, a boy and a girl, but the daughter I'm more bothered about. Uh, you can't let them out at night now, can we? It's that bad. All this knife crime, where's that all coming from? But it's the sexual assaults. I want the government to start releasing proper statistics about who these rapists are and where they are from and who let them into the country. Because everybody knows that majority of these rapes and sexual offences are being committed by, shall I say it, non-white. The statistics are in the high 90%. Nobody wants to talk about that though, do they? All they want to talk about is other stuff, boring stuff. But the prisons are chock a block at the moment. Absolutely chock a block. Why is that? Well, it's simple, isn't it, really? Because they let all these into the country. Nobody wants to say a word. And I've just been to a Remembrance Day in Greensboro in Rotherham. Fantastic. Really, really good it were. And people came out in force. The Brits came out in force for all the war heroes going back hundreds of years. And I thought that was fantastic. It was very nostalgic and it made me proud. Very proud person to be a Brit. Yeah, I'm a Brit. I'm a British kid. Born in Yorkshire. I'm a Brit. We don't mean we're racist though, just because we're born in North or born here. We just want what's right, don't we? We want to see it equal across the board, don't we? That's all we want. But this Starmer guy, he's got to go. He doesn't know what he's doing. I think none of them do. All they're doing is feathering the nests. I mean, this is a guy here who were edit CPS before he got knighted. And he said they want enough evidence to arrest Jimmy Savile and charge him and take him to court. What is all that? Why didn't nobody mentioning that? Hey? I don't know. It's shocking, isn't it? But hey ho. But we'll start picking it up a little bit on this channel now. It's a bit hit and miss really lately. It's trying to find good topics, but we'll start picking it up and making it regular. I've got a guest who should have been on tonight called Mark from Rotherham. He's 62. His lad's a boxing trainer, so I've come to know him, and he's a nice guy. He would have been on tonight, but he had a few tech issues. I'm going to have Mark on regular. He talks a lot of sense, and we're going to cover a variety of topics. Mainly at prison service at the moment. There's over 100,000 in jail, 100,000 in country, over. In 30 years ago, there were under 40,000, so something's not working. Do they think it could be fucking immigration? I think it is. Let's release how many thousands of people from other countries in jail in this country. There's 140 at jail. Well, how many are from other countries? How many fellas have it? But we want to know. Another topic I'd like to talk about when Mark comes on are petrol prices. Yeah, it's a fucking joke. What we're paying. Shopping prices. Going to the supermarket. Fuck all in the trolley for £100. You see where I'm coming from? And on and on and on. And it's going to get worse. So thanks for liking and subscribing, leaving a comment. And thanks people who are going to leave a comment, and people who email me in with ideas about what to put on here, because I mainly know about boxing, don't I? And so, all right, so I might need a bit of guidance on other topics. Sometimes we don't always do our research. We speak from the heart, but that's how you get in trouble on here. There's too many grassing cunts watch these channels. Well, I like to keep it clean today, apart from a few F bombs. But the country's in a mess, in my opinion, as regards immigration. It's an absolute joke. We need to start looking after our British kids that are homeless, don't we, really, before we start looking after foreigners? Yeah, it's pretty sad and all that, and they're fleeing war-torn countries, but that's not our problem, is it? We've enough problems of my fucking own. Let's start looking after our own. We're Brits, aren't we? I'm proud to be a Brit. Proud, and I know them people that are listening to this are fucking proud to be as well. So anyway, thanks for liking and sharing videos and subscribing. It means a lot to me. And I'll be back next week and we'll have Mark on. All right, you take care. Go on, pop, pop, bang. Eubank to knock Ben out tomorrow, 11 to 5. Get 20 quid on it. Booyaka.